All right, we're back, episode 5. Here I have Nate Martin. And Nate, how long have you been out of welding school?
I've been out of welding school for 4 months now, 5 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
All right. And you are from Kentucky.
Yes.
What has been the most noticeable difference with the welding industry compared to KWI? And we're going to get started on the sponsor coupon, but that's just the first question that comes to mind. I'm curious.
It'll definitely just be like the in-work experience. You know, it's
The social aspect.
Yeah, the social aspect.
Being around people, knowing what they're going to do next and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really curious to dive into your welding experience after KWI, but before that, let's go ahead and put in this root, and then we can really, you know, it's kind of hard to talk about detailed stuff while you're putting in a root because you want to make sure the root is good. So spec-wise, we have a monster coupon here, and we have 309 stainless wire. So this would be considered a stainless 2-carbon monster coupon. That is what Nate requested. So our machine is at 100 amps, and we got about a loose 1/8 gap. So Nate, you can go ahead and, because Nate's probably hasn't welded something like this in a little bit, so Nate's going to probably watch through the bevel and just kind of see, just kind of get familiar with how this stuff is going to run. So I'm going to go ahead and get my left side on here. And a couple times I've mentioned where I put my tacks, but just for the records, if you're watching and you haven't seen, I put my tacks on a test. I put a tack over here at 7 o'clock, and then I put a tack at 12 o'clock, and those are bridge tacks. And you'll see here in a second how we weld this to where we only have one tie-in on the root. Because a lot of times people put hard tacks and then they have to tie in, and it's tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up at 100 amps here. All right. And I'm just dabbing on the top and the bottom bevel. Hopefully, is it looking good?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Is it clean?
Yeah.
Sweet, so we got a good purge. I was worried about that for a second. Sweet. It's actually getting to the point where I can pull the wire out outside of it. And it was actually, 100 amps is perfect for this setup. I might need to turn it up a little bit more. But I'm just dabbing up top and then dragging it down. Add a little bit of wire up top, just pull it, just feeding, pull it down. And I'm going all the way to that bridge tack up there. Now Nate, I'm curious, why did you request a stainless monster?
That's what I've been welding on this last job I was on. That's all I had welded on. So
really, just stainless to carbon or just stainless to stainless?
Stainless to stainless.
Gotcha. And so you're pretty comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Now what type of stainless are we talking? Like a Schedule 10 job, or is it like a thicker?
Well, there was a lot of sanitary stuff, so pretty thin.
So you're not using any filler wire?
No.
Gotcha. Honestly, I don't even need this. I think we'll be good. So let me go ahead and cut that bottom bridge tack out on you. I about killed myself there, see? That's why I need a long argon hose. All right, so we're gonna cut these bridge tacks out. And I may, just those needle nose pliers real quick. A lot of times if you don't have if you have a thick grinder wheel, it's kind of hard to get these out of here. We may have to put that other one on there so we don't booger it up. Or you could fuse it into the weld. Let's see here. So we're gonna get this. You don't want to have any. We got it. You don't want to have any burrs in your root there. Sometimes whenever people bridge tack stuff, get it. You know, if you're grinding it,
right,
it's gonna get in the root. Now, do you bridge tack stuff on this job, or are you hard tacking everything?
Hard tacking everything.
Obviously, because it's in a tripod, right? So you're not even bridge tacking sanitary. That's on me. But you're not used to feeding wire on a root, right?
Mm-mm.
So it's going to be a little bit different. Well, let me know if you need to turn it up or down.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a 332 gap, 100 amps. You just touch it, tap this one, yeah. Hold on. Put it on the bevel there because the cup's catching. And it should be good. Tap it. Let me see here. This piece of crap. Here's the ground probably. Very good. Sometimes you knock the booth, you're not gonna have a ground. Now, going through KWI, did you like welding stainless? Was it easy or hard for you?
I found it to be fairly easy for the most part. At first I kind of struggled on putting the root in, and then once I kind of figured out exactly how I like the root or how I like to run it, I definitely started to like it a whole lot more than just regular carbon.
So you'd rather weld an alloy rather than carbon?
Yes.
Because it's cleaner?
Yeah.
Just when you put the root in?
Yeah.
Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I knocked actually the purge hose off. So I have to hold it while Nate is welding it so he doesn't sugar his root, and then we have to cut it out. And a lot of times on job sites, you'll be in situations where things go bad while you're welding. The best thing you can do is to stop and fix the issue before it gets worse. So while Nate was talking, I was checking the root to make sure that it was getting purged from me holding it, and we're good. So I'm gonna keep this position until Nate is finished. But that happens all the time on jobs. Nothing goes right, everything goes wrong most of the time. But if you're a competent person, it gets handled well. Now, Nate, have you had any crazy experiences on the recent jobs that you've been on? And you've been out for 4 months, so there has to be at least one thing that happened on a job site that you were totally not expecting.
Definitely working on the roof in very, very cold weather.
On a roof?
Yeah.
What do you mean a roof?
We had a dog food plant, and we were changing out some chillers on the roof for all the steam, and that was probably the worst kind of weather I've ever been in my life.
But y'all are welding up there?
Yes.
Gotcha. And that was in the winter, right?
Yeah.
And it's averaging, what, 20 to 30 degrees, or was it in the 40s?
No, it was single digits.
Oh, shoot. This was recently?
Yes.
So you're working right now?
No.
You just got laid off?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So this was like, what, last week, week before?
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, you were on a roof in the cold weather welding.
Yes.
And honestly, that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and cut this top bridge down. Now, before we get any deeper on your current situation in the welding industry, we're going to back it up a little bit and go to, high school. With high school welding, what grade did you get into welding in high school?
It would be my sophomore year.
Okay.
I had found it that a couple of my buddies had done it and liked it, and I was like, why not try it?
Yeah.
So I went in there and tried it, and I enjoy doing it, and I like it.
Now, would you have done it without their input? Or did that help a lot?
It definitely helped a lot. It influenced it a lot.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this thing out, and then we'll get right back into that because I'm curious about the specifics of that. All right. All right. Go ahead and get this part of the root finished. So I'm going to bring up my side a little bit, and then Nate, you just tie in with it. So, crack this argon, grab a full stick here. And actually, before we get any further with this, let's take a look at your side. Oh yeah, yours is good. Mine's all right too. I'm surprised we haven't messed up anything yet. Could have jinxed us, but never know. So I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit because the gap got tight. So I'm gonna turn it up to like 110. Might turn it up to like 120 whenever you go to tie in. So you got into welding, what grade again?
Whenever I was a sophomore. Yeah.
Sophomore, okay. Seems like that's the grade that everybody gets into welding because that's the grade that I got into welding. Now, were you good at it at first, or did you have to work on it? Like, what was your...
No, I definitely was not good, but it was something that I found cool and something that I wanted to know.
Now, did you get into it a lot because of the money?
Definitely the money has something to do with it, but no, I see my buddies doing it, and it looked cool. I mean, they take cool pictures and stuff.
It was fun.
I was like,
Yeah. Well, it's like you're doing something to build something, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're part of a bigger picture.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I did it too. Let me feather that tie in. I mean, I did it too. Like, you don't see, there's nothing against certain things, but you don't see a lot of people taking pictures of their jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you like, I always loved welding and taking pictures of what I was doing, and that just means you like it. You don't see a lot of people at the, Rite Aid taking pictures of the counter or whatnot.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, welding it's just one of those jobs where it's fun, and if you really like it, then it can benefit you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Go ahead and tie this thing in. So we've got a hole up here, and then we got a little bit more to close this up, and Nate's going to do that for us. And honestly, I might turn it up just a little bit more.
Yeah, give me a little bit more.
Welding. Yeah, you're at like 117. Yeah. And dab you some up top, and then dab some in the bottom. Yeah, there we go. And make sure you pull it out too. Yep. Sweet. Yep. Keep going, top and bottom. Yep. Add some on the top, add some on the bottom. And then perfect. Yep. So we cranked it up to about 117. It looked like it tied in pretty good.
Felt like it did.
So we're gonna put a hole in this tape because we're not gonna purge that hot pass. You really don't need to a lot of the time. Dang, that route's perfect. Check it out.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we're good there. So we're gonna go ahead and get a shot of this. Now, what did you focus on sophomore year welding wise? We've talked to a couple other people that have stopped in to weld and chat with me. What were some of your goals sophomore year, and what did you spend time on? If someone's out there in sophomore year just trying to figure out what they need to do.
Right, yeah, definitely my goals was to learn, be a sponge, soak it all in. If somebody's telling you to do this, do it, try it. If you don't like it, then try something else. There's 100 different ways to do it
something.
and get it right, and you can figure it out that way. So that was definitely my biggest goal, was to just learn and get better at the craft. And then, we have the state fair, and our school always goes to the competition, and that's kind of like the cool thing, is to get on the team or make the team.
State
so that
fair.
Yeah, I mean that was also a goal that I had in mind, to always make that team, and I ended up making the team, and we won state fair.
State fair,
yeah.
And you got a picture up there.
Yeah.
So here is a picture of the root. Looks pretty good actually. So parameters. 100 amps on the root, loose 8, 332 wire. That's usually what I always do the welds with, just because it's easier. So now we're gonna fill and cap this thing. Turn it up to 150, do the hot pass. All right, so sophomore year, you did state fair, just focused on what, stick welding sophomore year?
Yeah, majority stick, and then going into my junior year, I started to play around with the TIG rig a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of hadn't fed wire yet, but kind of just got the gist of walking the cup, dry washing on a plate. Just trying to get the gist of a TIG rig in my hand down.
But then the real welding started senior year, right?
Yeah, it got serious senior year. Went to all the contests, started doing some open root stuff on plate. And then just kind of preparing myself for KWI, so whenever I got there, I was ready to go. No questions, no nothing, just weld. Right.
Now, what did your KWI experience look like? As in, did you take advantage of it? Did you get all that you could get out of it, or what did you struggle with? What was your? We'll start with what was the hardest thing you had to weld at KWI? Like, what took you forever to learn? Because you did the 6-month combo pipe program.
Yeah.
And there's a lot involved in that. So what did you struggle with?
The one thing that I really had a really hard time with had to be on my stick out. For some reason, I could never get that root to go in there
60-10.
right. Yes. And
I struggle with 60-10 root as well, and it's something that's.
Yeah, it just kicked my butt, and finally I just I stayed after. I put in the reps, kept going. I built walls. I had big towers that I'd take home with me every night and look at it and be like, yeah, I got to do this.
You have to do it, yeah.
And I don't know, you
didn't give up?
No, you can't. You cannot give up.
Now, were there times whenever you were struggling with that you thought that you couldn't be a welder because you struggled with it?
Oh yeah. There was times like, oh my gosh, am I making the right choice here? Like, I mean, there was nights that it really
bothered you.
Yeah.
Oh no, trust me too, because there was a couple nights I was struggling with 60-10, the root, and I was just like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to make money and do this because I can't even do it right now. You know what I mean? So I 100% know what you went through with that. And it seems like there's a lot of people that struggle with their 60-10 roots on 6-inch pipe. So I think if you're in high school and you could practice that, because we've had several people say that, if you don't want to struggle with that, then spend time on 60-10 open roots on plate in high school, and that will get you, not struggling as much as we were with it. So right now we've got the root in. We're putting the hot pass on this thing at about 150 amps. Golly, and you snapped a whole piece of tungsten off in that thing.
Yeah, sure did.
Gee whiz. It's somewhere in there. Oh, I think I see it. Yeah. So we're good. So he snapped off the end of the tungsten far out on the bevel. We can get that with a grinder. What you don't want to do is snap off a piece of tungsten in the weld zone and then you forget about it, weld over it, and it's a shiny piece of metal on the X-ray film. So what were your things, in high school that you were into? Like, did your hobbies from high school carry over to now out in the real world, or what was that like for you? Because obviously it's a little bit of a change of pace going from, welding in high school for a couple hours a day and then, doing sports or something like that. And then now you're out in the industry making money, trying to stay busy, setting your life up. So what did that transition look like?
In high school, I played football for all 4 years. I played baseball 4 years, and I also have cows, and I show cows. So it's
pretty busy.
I'm busy, and we're practicing all the time, and you got to treat it like a job. I go home from school or after practice, and I work with my cows. I make sure they're fed every night, and have something to drink all the time.
Right.
So I mean, it's good practice, repetition of just, having responsibility and knowing that you have things you have to do,
right.
Just like a job.
So do you still do the farm thing today?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people, and I don't know about your family, but I talk to a lot of people across the state of Kentucky, and, they aren't able to go to welding school, or they don't want to travel and weld because of the family farm thing. Like, Dad needs me on the farm. He wants me to, not go anywhere. But I try to tell people, I'm like, welding is actually great if you have a farm, because you can do welding in the off season, and then when the farming picks up, you can be on the farm.
Yep.
Because you can make a lot of money in a short period of time welding, so it really benefits you actually.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, 100%. And it's hard. It's really hard to profit off of your farm early.
Right.
If you don't have a lot of head or whatever, it's really hard. So welding is what's making me the money to where I can do
the farm stuff.
It's where I can farm. Yes.
So one day, long term, do you eventually want to have your own farm?
Yes. Yes.
Here in Kentucky?
Yes.
Gotcha. And so you're setting all of that up now?
Yes. Go ahead and make the money now.
Hammer down.
Yes.
Right. And so would you say farming is your hobby?
Yeah, I would call it my hobby.
Gotcha. All you had to do is sacrifice 6 months of your time to get good at welding, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, say somebody lives about 3 hours away from here and they have to relocate and they can't help their family on the farm for 6 months. I mean, I think that's a pretty good trade-off to have a lifetime of being able to be on the farm doing stuff and money.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, learning how to weld and repair things break down on the farm and you're going to need stuff welded back up. Well, guess what? You know how to do it now.
So How do people pay for farm stuff if they don't travel and weld? Or what, would just like sell something on the farm?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. It's hard to come up with a lot of money, you know.
If you're just farming.
Yes, if you're just farming.
So do you think nowadays it's harder to just do the farm thing? Because back in the day, just doing the farm worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it's a complete different ball game now. I feel like if you want to farm, you have to have
something
a
else.
Second come of income.
Wow. So the old school dream of just living off the farm is harder than it used to be.
100%.
All right. All right, so we got our hot pass in, and so now we're gonna start filling this thing out. All right. Got about 170 amps going on here. So what does this coming year look like for you? Do you got anything lined up for the next couple of months?
I actually have been talking to a few guys here recently. I actually just got off the phone with one on the way here. So, you know, it's a game trying to find jobs right now, but you know, it's fun. I enjoy it. And you know, the hardest thing for me right now, you know, where I had just got out of school, and I just don't know.
You don't know anybody.
Enough people. But you know, if you can talk to them, and you know, it's kind of like selling a car. You got to sell yourself to the company.
Right. Well, it's all about the networking and meeting people and just showing people you're a solid hand.
Oh yeah, like, you know, on the last job, there was a couple guys that was on the crew, and you know, they were new like me too, and they just, you know, kind of didn't network to get a call back from this company.
Really?
You know, and I feel like talking and like I said, you know, selling yourself, you know, it's really important.
Because a lot of times people think the welding is going to get them on the next job, and it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be a good welder. You have to be a well-rounded employee, and also just the networking aspect. It's huge.
Yep.
And that's another thing about welding school is, now in welding school, did you try to network and put yourself out there meeting people at school?
Yes, I met a lot of new kids at school, and we had got along very well, and you know, hopefully, or you know, one day they're on a job, and hey, you know,
remember that.
Yeah. So it's definitely important to be able to talk to somebody,
right,
and figure it out.
Well, and you know, just get to know them on a personal level, and then you can actually have that camaraderie to get on the next job.
Yeah,
you know, they know what you're like.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to switch over to 1/8 inch wire. Stainless burns pretty easily, kind of like carbon. So let me know if the 1/8 inch wire is too much for the temperature we got, and we can crank it up some more.
Okay. Got this auto darkening lens that keeps flickering.
Oh man, you need a different lens?
Maybe.
Yeah, we got another lens if you need it.
Yeah, probably going to.
All right, yeah, them auto darkening lenses are sketchy sometimes. I don't like to run them. Someone was mentioning to me that you like to show cattle.
Yes.
Now, what does that entail? Like, do you travel, like, do you go far to do that? What's the difference between showing cattle and just having cattle on a farm?
So showing cattle versus having them on the farm. Showing cattle, it's all about the presentation and not the beef. You know, you're you know, kind of networking with other people. You know, to explore the best way to present that kind of beef or that style of breed. So, you know, you're traveling a lot, you're going from, you know, state to state trying to find new people to, you know, meet with or,
right,
or you know, work together to try to win shows. So I've traveled tons of states just doing that.
Now, do you still do that today?
Yes.
Gotcha. So you do the farm thing, but also, I guess, the hobby within the farm is showing cattle.
Yes.
Now, does that cost a decent amount of money to go to the shows and take the cattle and everything?
Oh yes.
What's the average cost to just get a cow to a show somewhere and to enter into it and do all that?
Okay. Well, first you got to buy the cow.
Right.
And
what's an average cow cost?
If you want one that's going to compete right now, you're looking at 30 to 40,000.
What? Just for one cow?
For one to
compete.
To compete. That's competing. That's
Gotcha.
not even guarantee you're going to win the show.
Right.
So I mean, there's farms out there that are selling cows for 100,000 easy.
Right.
So 40,000, and you got one that you can compete with, and then you got to give it a bath every day. You have to make sure it eats twice a day, make sure it drinks. So I mean, and pay for all the electric in the barn. You have to keep fans on it so it can grow hair.
Golly.
So I mean, you're out a good bit of money.
So how do most people pay for it if they're not into welding? Like they got it like sponsors or something?
I ask myself the same question.
Yeah, because with welding you make a lot of money and it still costs a lot. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
you're
for
making
sure.
Several grand a week. So this a recent job that you got off of, what were you making weekly?
It was about 2,900 a week.
Take home.
Yes, take home.
Gotcha. After tax.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the government. They were taking a lot out of your check, probably.
Yeah.
Claiming single and zero.
Yep.
Yeah. So where does most of your money go? Do you invest it? Do you save it?
Right now I'm investing. When I say investing, I'm investing it back on my farm.
Okay.
I'm putting some money back into the cattle that we have, to hopefully one day be able to sell cows for 30 to 40,000. That's a goal of mine.
So you're just taking care of them now and just making them nice, or?
Yeah. So the last cow I had, it won some shows, and it just, the value of her calf has went up.
Really?
The more you win, the more you could sell her calves for.
Okay. So I might have to turn the temperature down a little bit. This stainless is not wanting to sit in there that good.
What do you mean turn you on?
What are we at right now?
You're on 176.
Yeah, put it at like 160. It's kind of razorbacking on me a little bit. So yeah, now we got the root, we got the hot pass in, we got 2 fills, 2-bead fill. Now we're working on the 3-bead fill here. So I'm gonna come up right here with this. Now do you invest money elsewhere besides the farm? Like, do you do like a Roth or something like that?
Not yet. I have heard and know a little bit about that. But yes, I definitely will eventually go ahead and set up a Roth.
But right now your main goal is just getting the farm built up good.
Yes.
Now, when you're done traveling and welding, you're gonna go full-time farm and whatnot?
Yeah, I would like to. I mean, that's my end goal.
Right. And then, because I think once you spend time building up the farm and getting it set up for the future, I mean, you could probably do really good with it then. And then if you needed to, you could go on a welding job,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because by that point in time, you've made connections and met people, and, it'll be really easy to get on a job. So the first job you were on, was that the one on the roof, or was that the last one you were on?
Oh, that was the one on the roof, yes.
So what about this first job out of welding school? What'd that look like?
There was a lot of, I I had got on as a welder, and you know, me coming in thinking that I was just going to weld, that's not the case. You're doing a whole lot more than just welding.
Just welding, right.
And that was the one thing that you know, I didn't know, and the one thing that I'm glad I know now. You know, don't expect just to come in on a job and just be the welder.
Right.
You know, get yourself involved. Like, you know, learn everything about the trade. Don't just learn welding. You know, learn from the guys that's been there. You know.
Right.
Like, be a sponge and really take everything in and watch them do it, and then you try to go do it.
Exactly.
And if you don't know, just ask them questions.
Well, and I think if you're just realistic with people and let them know that you're new and you want to learn, they'll actually help you.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, and the thing though is too, though, there are a lot of jobs where you are just the welder and it's really nice, but don't expect every job to be like that. Well, and also too, you're really new in the industry, so you're going to be doing a lot of other stuff to just prove that you're, you know, worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Golly, it's taking me forever to fill this up. I got the tungsten all messed up. Sweet. All right. Got my side, and actually we're gonna have to sharpen that tungsten because it's kind of jammed up there. You gotta set that thing over here, and I'll sharpen this one. I gotta put that other grinding wheel on it. So these little cutting wheels are so hard to sharpen tungsten with. When's the last time you did a monster coupon?
Back in school.
And that's why we're doing it. We're kind of brushing you up on this thing.
Yep.
So are you going back with that company, or are you done with them for right now?
They have something coming up soon. So, you know, like I said, I've talked to some other people, so whatever calls me back first, whatever gets back with me first, that's kind of what I'm doing.
How it goes, right? Sweet, your side, yes? Yeah, I don't want to put you in a bind because I banged up the tungsten. All right, here we go. Yeah, just let me know if you need me to turn it up some more.
Okay.
Yeah, 160 should be good. But yeah, I think I'm going to be able to, I think I'll cap this next, I think I'm flush now. So we are almost flush here. I think I'm going to try to cap off of what I have. We'll see, it may be too much. We doing good, Noah? Sick. Yeah, we can cut that out. I was just needing a second to like decompress. Like, we can cut this section out because I'm like, you getting chilly? Welcome to the North Pole.
Yep, started flickering on me again. I need your hood.
Okay. Oh, I totally forgot about that.
You're good. No worries.
Now, what's your favorite type of welding? Do you like stick or TIG welding?
TIG welding.
Clean.
100%. Yeah, it's clean. It's
Don't
easier.
get burned up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite, dude. I just always try to do welding jobs with TIG.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about TIG welding with these monster coupons is you can just keep long arcing and going back. Like, I mean, a monster should take one person. If you nonstop weld, you can do it in an hour or less, just straight welding.
Oh, yeah. Back in school, we used to try to race and see who could get it done the fastest.
Oh, KWI?
Yeah.
Now, when you went to KWI, were you able to get scholarships to go, or did you have to take out a loan?
Yeah, we, fortunately, you know, me and a bunch of my friends, we all got enough scholarships and stuff to be able to go to KWI for free.
Wow.
So, if I was, you know, anybody wanting to go to KWI, I would definitely take advantage of the scholarships. There's people are out there willing to give money out to students, and I would 100% take advantage of it.
Yeah, because you guys are way more fortunate than I was. When I went to KWI, They were not accepting student aid, so I had to pull out a loan, a business, or I guess a school loan, and then I paid it off within a couple months after graduating. But if you can get most of your KWI experience paid for, that is the way to go. Because then, you know, you guys, you got KWI, you know, paid for through scholarships, and then now you're out in the industry making, you know, over $2,500 a week, while people you graduated with are still in college going into debt.
Yep.
And they'll be that way for 4 years. But Nate here is already out in the industry making thousands of dollars a week and setting his life up. So you can use welding to set your whole life up and get everything in order. And you really only have to do welding for 10 years because of the money you can make in welding if you invest it into something. Nate invests it into his farm. AJ invests it into the stock market. As long as you're investing your welding money, you're going to set yourself up for the rest of your life. How's that lens? Is it all right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's just an Amazon lens. My buddy from Tentacle Tools is sending me a couple lenses. I'm going to be trying those out here soon. I'm excited to try them out because my whole welding career, all I've used is this Amazon glass gold lens shade 11. So. Our editor behind the camera is back there freezing because our heater that we use for this building, because we don't have insulation yet, but the heat that we use for this building, we heat it with those big giant diesel powered heaters, and they're really loud, so it really just kind of kills the audio and whatnot for this. So we're all a little bit cold, but I'm capping. I don't care how low I am. I'm capping it right off of this thing, and we're going to warm up. Yeah, you're a razor back in there. You need me to turn it down, or are you good?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Now, one of the best things to be able to do is to be able to manipulate the heat with your TIG rig. So tilting it either direction and dabbing the wire can cool it down a lot. Yeah, how's it going? Oh yeah, it's getting hot, ain't it?
Yeah.
Right on. Ain't bad though. Now, what would you say is what's a good piece of advice for someone who has a farm and wants to do what you're doing? What mistakes did you make? Like, is there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
So, you know, for me, I lived, 15 minutes away from KWI.
Right.
And there was some days where I chose to go home and work on the farm instead of, I could have stayed after.
Okay.
And got some more time in. I really regretted that. I wish I could have stayed in there a little bit longer and learned a little bit more. That would probably be my one thing.
Gotcha. So just, if you're doing 6 months at KWI, just max it out as hard as you can.
Yeah, I would, 100%. You're paying to go there, I would.
Right.
I would definitely use every bit of it.
Just completely max it out.
Yep.
All right.
I'm probably gonna run one.
Yeah, run some cheater beads. Yeah. Yeah, run you some cheater beads. I don't think I'll have to. I think I'll be all right feeling what I got. I'm gonna try to at least. Go ahead and get this place warmed up again because we're all a little chilly up here on the North Pole. Now, did you have pretty good experiences on your first couple of jobs with people, like no one gave you a hard time or anything?
There was definitely some guys that would give you a hard time, but
what were they giving you a hard time for? Was it because you were young,
yeah,
or was it because you wasn't good at welding yet, or
just young, and it's just that, I guess, that old guy thing.
I just don't understand that mentality. Like, I don't think I would ever be that way towards a younger person coming into the industry, and I think that's something that we have to change as a whole.
100%.
I don't know why there's that mentality in the welding industry. Just like, I think it's where they're just, a lot of people are older and they're really negative because they're stuck on jobs that they don't want to be on because they made poor financial decisions. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where we just gotta, I guess you just gotta go to the job and not be negative. And if you're in it when you're older, just remember you were a freaking young person too in the industry. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cap this side. I'm gonna sharpen my tungsten. Recently TikTok was shut down. Did that bother you any, or?
No.
You're not really big into it?
No, I mean, I get on there and watch it, but it
wasn't a big deal.
No, I mean,
yeah.
if it goes down, it goes down.
Right. So was that pretty good temperature?
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and run my side here. All right. We're about like 150 amps. All right. Coming up on this side over here. Yeah, on this cap we'll run one bead and then switch off.
Okay.
Just so we're not burning up our whole side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now so stainless as of right now is your favorite material to weld?
Yeah, for sure.
What other materials have you welded on jobs?
Stainless has been the only thing that I've welded on jobs.
Other than carbon?
Yeah.
So you haven't done no chrome or Inconel or?
Not yet.
Well, it's coming.
It's coming.
Well, if you can do stainless good, then you'll be ready for whatever they throw at you.
And that's what everybody else says. If you can do
stainless, yeah. Stainless and carbon are the main ones. It's good to touch base on all of the other ones.
Yeah.
But everything is generally either like carbon or stainless in a way. I would say an exception to that is some gnarlier alloys, like some dense Inconels and whatnot. How do you do that? How do you keep snapping that thing?
I'm trying to.
You just tap it. You don't like. Watch. Look. Calm down. Just look. You just tap and then lift. Yeah, it's a very calm, very smooth transaction. I'm thinking, well, you're probably used to setting your cup on it and tapping it, huh?
Yeah.
Like rocking it?
Yeah.
I know. Because that sanitary welding, you're walking the cup and then you're just fusing it, so you're just kind of cramming and jamming it away. Yeah, I've never done sanitary on top of a roof. And that's what you're doing.
On top of the roof, there was some like pipes going into the chillers, like.
It was like a steam line. I need to turn it down a little bit.
Gotcha.
It was like a steam line, and that would run into the big chillers. And then when we got down on the inside, it was all sanitary.
Okay. Let me turn that argon down just a little bit. Is that good right there?
Yeah.
Should be good. I'm gonna burn out our argon here. Yeah, it looks good. Ain't bad.
Getting better at it.
Yeah, getting better. You're getting there. Getting broke into monster coupons again.
Yeah.
Running more heat than what you're used to, huh?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I totally forgot that you were. Now, what's the temperature that you run on sanitary if you're on a job? Because I never really did any sanitary jobs at all. I'm sure I could, do it if I had to, but I haven't really. Like, if you had a piece of sanitary pipe right here in front of me, I wouldn't know what to do at first.
Yeah. See, I had no idea either, and I asked the guy, and he told me, and we didn't even purge it. We went straight in at it.
Fusing it?
Yeah.
No purge.
No purge.
Gotcha.
And
now they weren't shooting those, were they?
No.
Right. You were just making them holding water pretty much.
Yeah. When we were doing those, he said drop them down to 45 amps and just go at it.
Heck yeah. 45, walking the cup. How far is your stick out on the tungsten? About like this or less?
Less.
Like really like up in there?
It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't much more than that.
Gotcha. You and that tungsten, man.
Killing me.
You just tap it. Scratch start. Well, it's a lift arc, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, do you think you would like to try something else than sanitary? Or like what's your, like for long-term welding, do you want to do a rig truck? Do you want to do specialty work? Or do you want to stay closer to companies around here? Or do you see yourself traveling far? What do you?
I mean, I don't mind to travel. You know, that doesn't bother me. So, I mean, really, whatever pays or whatever's calling me back.
Right.
That's, you know, kind of what I want to do.
Okay. It don't matter how far?
No. I like traveling. I like seeing the world.
Now, now how does that go with having a farm though? Like, you just gonna do that in the off seasons?
Well, like, you know, going to shows and stuff. That's the traveling that I get to do, and it's
Gotcha.
really fun.
We gotta turn that thing up. All right. Come up here with this. Come on. All right. Well, so we're capping this monster coupon right here. Try to do it like a 4-bead cap. Can you be able to manage that over there?
I think so.
Sweet. Man, the top of this always looks so nasty. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run one more, and then I'll crack it down for you.
You're good.
Now, what's the single most important thing that you've learned so far in life right now? It can be about anything.
Just in life in general, I would just, you know, don't get down on yourself if things don't work out the first time.
Gotcha.
You just see a lot of people quit, and there's no reason to quit. You know, there's a lot of things that have, you know, nailed me down, and I've wanted to quit or wanted to give up, but I just don't do it. Don't give in. You know, you're stronger than that.
What would you say is the coolest thing that you've done so far in life right now? Like, was it winning a competition for the cattle show, or what's the coolest thing you've done?
Yeah, it'd probably be, I won grand champion back-to-back years at the state fair.
Really?
Yeah, that was.
Is that hard to do?
Yeah, it's pretty unheard of. Yeah.
No way. So what does it take to be that?
Well, the thing is, I won it with the same cow. So I showed her as a calf, and then I showed
Really?
her as a bred.
So you knew that she could win again?
Yeah.
Wow. And so winning back-to-back there is not common.
No, you see some people do it with different cows back-to-back.
But
years.
never the same.
Not the same one.
Gee whiz, so what do you get when you win state?
They'll write you a check, you know, for winning, and then you get some like this year I got a book bag that said like grand champion on it, and you know, stuff like that. And
Right.
with our breed, we do this trophy called the Traveler's Trophy, and you get to take it home with you, and you get to put your name on like the plaque around the sides of the trophy and stuff like that. So you're on there for the rest of the time.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Because, you know, everybody's got a hobby and something that really gets them lit up, and that seems like that's really your big thing, man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's sweet. Now, who got you into that? Your parents?
Yeah, my dad.
Now, did he do it?
No, he didn't do it, but we had cows, and we had wanted to get in there to do it. And,
Gotcha.
You know, now that me and my brother are old enough to show,
And you got money.
Yeah.
You got adult money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. My side is finished. I just went ahead and crammed in on it because I was afraid you'd ruin my tungsten. But But it looks like I ruined the tungsten for you. So hold on, let me get this thing sharp. I was like, man, if I get it back to him, he's gonna jam up my tungsten again. No, it's all good though. I'm just giving you a hard time. Because the thing with TIG welding though is, you are going to dull up a bunch of tungsten.
Oh yeah.
It's just part of it.
100%.
This coupon's going a whole lot better than that other one we did earlier with AJ. Because that ink canal is just so gnarly looking. Doing a little bit of studio welding, boy. All right, you go ahead and weld, man. You rock on it. All right, my side's capped. Sweet. Sick. What's your vehicle that you travel to these jobs with? Curious. You got a truck?
Right now, I'm using my dad's truck. I have a very old.
Ooh, I need to turn it down. What do you want it to? 140?
Yeah, if you don't care.
I forgot. Anyways, you're running your. That's good.
Yeah, I know about
You're running your dad's truck right now?
Yeah, I'm using my dad's truck right now.
Keeping it cheap,
Yeah.
light.
Yep. I have an old truck outside, but I don't trust it to go that far.
Dude, you don't breaking down is not fun.
No, it's not.
I broke down a couple times. I had my first welding truck right after KWI was a 98 Dodge 1500. And it drove me to Louisiana a couple times. And then after that, I was like, dude, I can't be driving this 98 Dodge on these jobs. I have to get something a little bit more reliable. And so I just got a Tacoma and an F-150 eventually. But honestly, I think the best thing is if you're going to stay at Airbnbs and whatnot, get a little Corolla.
Oh yeah, for sure. Save
Get like
money.
a little Corolla or like a small car, like a, you know, like a Subaru or a Honda or a Toyota, just those little hatchbacks or whatever. Those are great for traveling in. They're all-wheel drive. You can put your bags in them and just, you know, hit the road, not have to worry about too much. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm gonna turn you up just a hair more because 140 is a little bit cold for where you're moving. Turn you up to like 148. Remember, you don't have to go up so far because you only got 3 beads, right? Yeah, don't make it so wide. Just kind of run it. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there you go, right there, yep. Yep, you want to run it. Up and down, up and down, up and down, and just keep moving and rotating because down here you were kind of going a little bit slower than you could have. Yeah, you spent too much time on that one. You spent too much time on that one little bit right there. It's all right though, it's fine. I'll turn you down a little bit. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep right there. There you go. Hey, you almost, yeah, you gotta drop down pretty far. I turned you down to 140, so you should be good. Hey, and you keep that wire in the puddle. It keeps popping out and stuff. So keep it in the puddle and then move up and down and keep rotating and it'll go a little bit better. Yep, keep going up and down. Keep moving, keep moving. That's not looking bad at all. Yeah, keep moving, keep moving. There you go. And honestly, that 1/8" wire is pretty heavy. We probably could have capped it with 332. And we're finishing up this monster coupon, guys. We've made it to the end of it. Gee whiz, you trying to blow that thing out?
Finally, you get it up there.
I didn't know we had a foot pedal on this thing. Jeez. I'll tell you what, your side's gonna look gnarly. Woo. Holy smokes. That's all right though, it ain't bad. I think if we use 332 wire, it would have helped that so much more.
Oh yeah.
Well, and also too, one thing, you're too much like this.
Lean
You
back.
need to be like this. Look, like you were doing this. You want to be like that. You had it like this. You want to be like this, and then with the pipe.
Yeah.
So this rig needs to be perpendicular with the pipe, and it'll go a little bit better. So I think for that one, but also if you just had 332 wire, it wouldn't have been so heavy. So, all right, well, it don't look bad. The root's good. Everything checks out. I mean, this is a little bit heavy, but it's all tied in and good. So, well, any other advice you want to give somebody right now across the interweb that might be in your same position, has a farm, doesn't know what to do with their life, they're in high school?
I would go. I mean, it's definitely worth the money. It's worth the time. If you like work, if you like welding, and you want to do your other hobbies, I would definitely take 6 months out of your time to go to KWI.
Because you can take time off, you can work when you want,
Whenever
you kind
you
of
want.
just play it to your needs and,
Yep.
and wants.
Yep.
Well, you've heard it here today, guys, with Kegan. Hold on, let me read that. You've heard it here today, guys, welding with Kegan. We have Nate here. Nate is a farmer here in Kentucky. He uses his welding money to show cattle and travel, the country showing cattle, doing what he loves. If you want to know more about the Kentucky Welding Institute, check out our website as well as all of our social media platforms. We are on there posting daily. Until next time, Kegan out, and we'll see you.